So I think everybody is ready. A last time to Gwen. Gwen, are you ready for us?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me introduce you our guest speaker for tonight. Gwen, I don't want to make you scared, but we have an international call. We have people on the call from Amsterdam. We have people on the call from Germany. We have people on the call from Cape Town. We have people on the call from all over Africa and South Africa, actually. And they are all excited to listen to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to our guest speaker tonight. She is not just beautiful, she has an awesome shape. She comes with a background from the Weight Loss Challenge because actually she started originally as a client in the Weight Loss Challenge because she was desperate to get her shape in order. She's the mom of two beautiful children, married to an absolutely stunning husband as well. They both complement each other so well. I love them both to bits. A beautiful, beautiful couple and family. And she has a background as an attorney. And as I said, got started with Herbalife. They are now they're such in a production mode. They have always a very high personal volume and they duplicate themselves very well. They love the Weight Loss Challenge. And when I had with them a chat when we met recently in Lisbon, actually quite funny, we meet always at the big events and we meet actually more overseas than we meet in South Africa, but they live in Port Elizabeth. And I'm super excited because when they told me about the Weight Loss Challenge, and this was now November, beginning of December, and then I heard they have the first cut millionaire, and I thought I must hear more about what Gwen is doing and Solana is doing. So without any further ado, I want to hand over to the beautiful Gwendolyn to explain us more about the Weight Loss Challenge. I prepared her with a couple of questions. She will take us through the entire flow of her business, how she works with the Weight Loss Challenge. And this is why I ask everybody to take good notes. And at the end, we just open up for questions. So Gwen, you just get started. Thank you very much for taking your time tonight. And thank you very much to your family as well to excuse you and give us the time with you. So we can shout out and give you a big hooray and please open up your microphones. I want to hear a real cheer for Gwen.
Yeah, can I ask that yourselves and then when you want to speak, then you can unmute so that at least there's no sound interruption, if that's okay with everybody. And Bea, thank you so much for that incredible introduction. I don't know, the way you get introduced in Herbalife, it's amazing. Thank you so much. So as Bea said, I'm Gwendolyn Wolela, and I was a product of the Weight Loss Challenge. And I just want to say, maybe before I start, is that most of the stuff with the Weight Loss Challenge, because I was a product of the Weight Loss Challenge, so most of the stuff I learned from my sponsor, who is Conrad van Staden. But what we did with it is that we just tweaked it to fit into what, to our personality, what we want to do with it. We just tweaked some things and made it suit us on the Weight Loss Challenge. So the way the Weight Loss Challenge runs is, and okay, let me first maybe say why I love the Weight Loss Challenge, okay? I love it because it's educational. A lot of people get, when they finish the Weight Loss Challenge, they are pretty much to be coaches. Because we always say to the challengers, we always told not, like when you are trying on a new program, people say, don't eat this, don't eat that, but you don't know why you shouldn't eat something, or you don't know why it's necessary for you to eat something. So it actually educates clients that by the time they finish the challenge, they can be coaches. And then with the Weight Loss Challenge, you can choose to run it for 12 weeks or for 8 weeks. So it's up to you how you want to run it. Initially, we ran it for 12 weeks, but now we run it for 8 weeks. Okay. So also what I like as well is that, you know, the way we started, you start by inviting people. Okay. You can invite people by word of mouth. You can invite people on WhatsApp, and you can invite the people on Facebook. The invite for the Weight Loss Challenge is not meant to be too much. It's about just announced new Weight Loss Challenge starting on the 1st of January. Inbox me for more information. That's it. You keep it there, and you don't write any. If someone approaches you through social media, you don't write anything on the wall. You don't write anything on the comments. They must just inbox you they must inbox you if they're interested. And then you ask for their email address, and then you send them information. Or you ask them for their contact number, then you can send them information on WhatsApp as well. And normally what you send when it comes to the Weight Loss Challenge after the invitation is you have to show value. You have to show people what will they be getting for this challenge, and then you tell them how much everything is. So for example, we would say the Weight Loss Challenge is great. We're running it for 12 weeks. You will at the Weight Loss Challenge, you will get nutritional information on a weekly basis. You get weighed on a weekly basis. You get a goodie bag valued at 400 Rand. You get, actually we say 450 because there's a plastic bag and a spoon that comes with it and a shake. So, and then you say you also get 3 scans valued at 350 each. Ne? And then you get support, you get added on our WhatsApp group. And then at the end, you would say the cost of the challenge is 500 Rand. Ne? The venue is this place, the time is this place. And then at the bottom, you ask them, can I book you a seat? Ne? Respond with a yes or not now. Because it's never. It's never like never. So we say respond with a yes or not now. So people then respond, yes, book me a seat, or not yet. Right? And then what happens as well is that members can also join the challenge. Ne? If someone wants to work on their own goals, like for example, with our challenge, I join the challenge every time to be accountable to our clients, as well as for them to see me weighing myself every day. Because sometimes as coaches, you can keep weighing people, yet your results are going in the opposite direction. And members do, clients do talk, participants will talk and say, I'm not motivated by my coach. We have had such cases before. So it's important. You never arrive. So, but then what the fee for the members, what they pay is they pay the difference between the cost of their shake and the cost of the challenge. So for example, if a member is at 25%, what they will pay is they buy the shake at 305, so they will pay 200 Rand because the cost of the challenge is 500, and they will buy their own shake and then get their points. Also about the Weight Loss Challenge, all the money that is collected to join the Weight Loss Challenge, it's not your profit. That money is all of it, 100% goes towards the challenge. So you don't make a profit with the joining fee. The joining fee is for you is to buy the product, the goodie bags of the client. It's for the cash prizes. It's for sampling on a weekly basis, and also they drink tea every week because the vibe is important at the challenge. So you have to drink your tea on arrival, okay? And it's also for the weekly prizes for the biggest loser, okay? And then, so I think that's clear. And then also what happens is that on the first week now, when it comes to the challenge, what you need to do is that as coaches, we need to remember we're working together. So if, for example, we are 4 coaches and we each bring 5 people, and we've got 20 people, when you arrive at the venue, everybody registers. You write your name, your phone number, who invited you, because you have to be specific who invited you, and they must write their number that works with WhatsApp, because they'll be added in a WhatsApp group at a later stage. So who invited you, and then as coaches we work as one. So there's no one who looks at their own client that this is my client, or you work with your own client. We work as one. We have different stations. We need a station for somebody who's going to take the full measurements on the Tanita scanner, and we use the same Tanita scanner on every week, because it can get complicated unless it's big numbers. If it's big numbers, let's say there's like lots of people to manage time, you can use 2 or 3 scanners, but you need to number them and then let the challenger know that they need to weigh on the same scale on a weekly basis. So that's important. But we use the same scanner. So there should be someone at the station for the scale. Then there's someone who's going to be making the tea for everybody to have. And then there's a station for centimeters, because you need to take centimeters around the whole body, all right? And then the other station is for photos. So you need a photographer, somebody who's going to take proper photos, just like you do when you take for level 10. So you take photos front and side for that station. So then it's organized so that when somebody walks in, they register, they go to the weigh-in station, they go to the centimeter station, they go to the photos, and then they grab their tea and sit down and mingle. And then also the one thing I think as a coach that is important for you to do before you even start the weight loss challenge, you need to register on www.myweightlasschallenge.co.za, because on the site all the material is there. The manual is there of the weekly lessons. And then what happens is that also after people have done all these things, the measurements and everything, the other thing that they need to do is to sign a contract. Okay, it's a participation agreement. It's also on the website, but you can edit it to your details. So that contract basically just specifies that they're not going to hold you liable. There's nothing dangerous at the weight loss challenge, but you're just protecting yourself because we are professionals. So then you fill that in, but also it explains the rules of the weight loss challenge. For example, it explains things like the first prize, second prize, and the third prize. Because of the challenge, the winner of the challenge after the 12 or 8 weeks gets 50% of the cash prize of the change. Because remember, you use the money to buy product, sampling, the venue costs, if the venue costs you money, and then the change is split between the top 3 of the weight loss challenge. And so the first prize gets 50%, the second prize gets 30%, and the third person gets 20%. Then the other thing is you explain to the challengers that it also says there, you're not allowed to gain weight. If you gain weight, you pay a 15 Rand fine. Ne? If you skip the challenge more than once, you pay a 15 Rand fine. So all that money over the weeks gets added up, and that money for the fines gets given to the biggest centimeter loser. So we recognize the biggest centimeter loser as well. Okay, and then also what's important is that now on a weekly basis, the prize you can decide the easiest prize to give on a weekly basis to the biggest loser. Remember also the one thing on the loss is based on percentage weight loss, not on weight. Because somebody who weighs heavier will lose maybe 4 kilos, and someone who's lighter might lose 1 kilo, and they think I don't stand a chance of winning. So to be fair, you have to use the percentage, and then the people who weigh less can actually be the biggest losers at the end of the challenge or on a weekly basis as well. If you don't know how to calculate the percentage of the weight loss, let's say for example somebody weighs 100 kgs and they lose 2 kilos this week on the first week, then you take 2 kgs, divide by last week's weight, and then you multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Yeah? All right, and then we move on now. After everything, you give them tips now. So this is week 1, you've registered them. There's not a lesson on week 1, so it's just the logistics. And then you give them a lesson, you give them tips for the first week. The tips are, for example, they need to focus on their water. All they need to do is focus on the water for the next 7 days, okay? And then make it fun. Then they're not allowed to, we make it very strict, because what we say to them is that you need to know why you're doing it. You need to write down why you're doing it, because the weight loss journey is not an easy journey. So, and you're doing it for this period, so you need to take it very, very seriously. So we put those rules there. And then tell them that, okay, you know what? Then no, let's say don't drink this, no cheating, no crisps and stuff. Because some people don't know that some things are not supposed to be eaten when you're on a healthy plan. So the things we say, we'll ask to tell them no coffee. Ne? And a lot of people love coffee and they drink it a lot. And we explain to them why no coffee. And we tell them it's not the caffeine that is the problem in coffee. It's the chemicals used to dry the coffee. And so they understand why there's no coffee. It's the chemicals you saw. So someone doesn't say, what about decaf? It's not about whether it's decaf or not. It's the chemicals used to dry the coffee. When they get to your body, they dehydrate your body. And then we tell them that also then your body, and then it traps water in your body, and because your body has cellulite. And nobody wants cellulite. So then it's easier for them not to drink coffee. And all the other things, fizz drinks and so on and so forth. And then that is it for week 1. And then everybody, all the coaches will go to the register and take the names down of the people who were part of the challenge, who came and said they were invited by them. And then they need to take those numbers, because they have to do follow-ups on the side now with their own clients. There will be a WhatsApp group where we add all the challengers and we tell them to mute the group and everything. But as a coach, you need to follow up on your own specific clients because they feel more special when you phone them to say how was your shake this morning and all of that. But also and then also what we do on the weight loss challenge, because they get their goodie bags, we make a shake, so they taste a shake and they see how a shake is done. So we'll make it this, and we'll use, for example, a shaker to say, okay, this is how you make a shake for this, these are the scoops, and then you shake it up. That's how you make a shake. They know how to make it. Ne? And then what happens, let's see if there's anything I'm missing now. And then on week 1, something when you're recognizing the biggest loser, ne? We give a protein bar, ne? So the biggest loser gets a protein bar, and we ask the biggest loser questions. So week 1, everybody's welcome, and we only take the weight. We don't do the full measurements. The full measurements are only done on week 1, halfway at the end of the challenge. So if you're running a 12-week weight loss challenge, you'll do the full measurement on week 1, week 6, and week 12. Otherwise, the weekly weigh-ins, you will do them, you just take the weight and calculate the percentage. That's it. And then also what happens is with now week 1, we get a crown or like a medal so that you make everybody stand. So you say everybody stand up. Everybody who's lost 0.5% or more remain standing. Everybody else sit down. And then the ones who did not lose, they must clap for the ones who lost as loud as they can because they worked very hard to lose 0.5. So then everybody else sits down. And then you take it up. Everybody who's lost 1% or more remains standing. Everybody else sits down until there's one person or there's 2 people, maybe who lost 2% or more. And then you call the biggest loser to the front, okay? And then you congratulate them. Everyone needs to scream like crazy. And then you ask the biggest loser, what did you do that made you lose 2% or 0.5%? What did you do? And then obviously they're excited because you know what? This is a client in the participant is a member in training, is a supervisor in training, is a coach in training. So it starts there by asking, then you ask them questions, then you ask them, did they cheat? Then you even ask on the group, does anyone have questions? Does anyone want to lose 2%? Yes. Does anyone have questions for this person? And they feel excited because it's their moment. And you put the crown on them or a medal on them, and you take a photo with them, okay? And then on top of that, after the challenge, you will recognize them on the WhatsApp group. So just in case the others didn't come, they know who the biggest loser of the week is. See? And then now, so that's a person, that's how we also now train the members. The next thing that we train the participants in now, as the challenge goes on, we actually make them so that they actually now, we teach them how to use the calendar, we teach them how to weigh in every day. This maybe participant must do the weigh-ins today. And then the other thing we do is that as coaches, we maybe outdo the first, the first lesson is very important and the opening. So do the opening the first, and then after that, we ask the participants to actually do the lesson. So for example, if Flanders family, they are the participants in my challenge, then I'll say, hey, I would really appreciate if you could do next week's lesson. It's on this, I'll send you the notes. Are you keen? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, or they're nervous. I'm like, no man, you can totally do it. Look at your attitude, look at your energy in the class. It's absolutely amazing. And then I send them the notes, and then they actually even do it better than you, okay? Remember, in the weight loss challenge, don't be perfect. What you do, people must look at you and think, I can do that. We even do it from the manual. I know like the notes, most of the stuff off my head, but I'm always looking at the manual so that I look like I'm reading something, because that's duplicatable. Because when I sound too perfect, then they're gonna be like, oh, but when you know this, you know everything. So it's like that. It's meant to be that, okay, I can read, you can read. Then you send them the notes, they also do the same, they make extra effort and all of that. So that's also a coaching training. And they also even learn themselves in terms of, you send them the week's lesson. And then also remember challenges, did I mention that? I don't know if I said this, but challenges can join up to 6 weeks or 8 weeks, I think 4 weeks, up to the halfway mark. And normally what happens that when you're in momentum, on the week 6, normally you start another challenge, then you have back-to-back challenges. let's say you've got a 5:30 until 6:30, and then you'll have a 7 to 8 challenge when the momentum is kicked in, because then you'll probably be promoting another challenge while you are within a challenge. Okay. And then also then what we do with the guys is like, listen, we compliment them. Once somebody gives a lesson in a class, you have to compliment them on how they did, because most of the time, actually 100% of the time, they really do well. They get out of their comfort zones and they do well. You say you really, really did great tonight and everything. And you can take the opportunity then to say, you know what, listen, we've got an event tomorrow, and I think you'd make such a great coach, and I would love for you to come and check out what we do and get the bigger picture of what we do. And then they can come to the HOM, or they can come to the next event, the BBS, whatever event you've got. But we take that opportunity to invite them. And also there's no specific time where I'd say that we invite everybody. It's about connection. Everything, I think it's about timing and connection. So, but you try by the end of the challenge, you would have invited everybody. Some will come, some will not come, okay? And when we started our first weight loss challenge, we had 16 participants. So, and from there on, I think 5 or 6 became members, okay? And then what happens is that, remember, a weight loss challenge is not even meant to be that formal. So some people can say, oh, wow, I can do this, but I stay in this area. Can I do it from my lounge? Remember, a weight loss challenge, you can do it from your lounge. You can do it for an office, like a corporate. You can do it for a community. It doesn't matter. But the more people, the more small groups there are, the better it is, because then people keep empowering people. I remember we even also had, because we were staying in another area, but with a group of people, and what they did is they didn't stay far away from each other. So we house hopped for every challenge, because there was a group of people. They said, this week it's at my house, this week it's at your house. But then what it made is that it gave them responsibility, because now they must make the tea. You see, it's not me who's making the tea, kind of thing. So I don't know if you've got any questions at the moment, Bear, of something that I might have missed.
That's open for everybody. I mean, you are new, so when it's absolutely amazing. I took lots of notes and I had a long conversation with you already before, so I'm very excited about our call today. Hashim is waving, so over to you, Hashim.
So firstly, I want to say, Gwen, thank you. It's nothing that I expected it to be. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of crazy fun, and I'm going to love it. My question is, you said something about you can always add new challenges in. So let's say we're on week 3, let's say we do it on an 8-week basis and we're on week 3, do I just slot them in? And how will the measurements then work? How will the prize giving then work? Because is it going to be fair towards the people that started first? That's one question. I think I have a few more.
Okay.
Okay, but let's first cover that one, if you may.
Okay. So when it comes to adding people in, we actually accept new challenges up to the halfway mark. Ne? And we explain to them that the challenge started, let's say 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So your chances of winning, it's up to you whether you still want to join or not, because the biggest loser is from the beginning. And most people who really want to be part of the challenge, they actually join. You know what? We've had a lot of incidences whereby the person who joins on 3rd week or 4th week actually becomes the biggest loser. Because remember, even if they join on the 4th week, you will still take the full measurements. That will be their starting measurements. And it's a 12-week challenge. That means that they've got 8 weeks on the challenge, and then other people have a 4-week advantage. But that person can be so serious that they actually take the prize that they're able to take. It has happened so many times. But you just let them know that, listen, the challenge started then. If it's your choice, if you want to join now, or you can join the next challenge. And often people, when they've set a goal for themselves, they actually don't want to wait. They're like, okay, listen, it doesn't matter. I'll join now, and then I'll join the next one. Because people can also join back-to-back challenges. So when the other one ends, like we've got with the Kawama Small Challenge, we have one lady who's joined three challenges. So she says, I was the winner of season 1. Now I'm on season 2 or I'm on season 3. She's excited about it. And the nice thing about people who actually come and join the next challenge is that they can share their results to other people in terms of, oh, I had fun, this is how much I found. I think she lost 12 kilos in 8 weeks for her. So it's all of that. People can join back to that. Yes.
So, Gwen, another question. Maybe I just didn't follow it right. So let's say we are 5 members that's on different different levels, you know, in terms of our discounts. How much of the money, like, how do we work that? So they just buy the shake and the rest of the money goes into the kitty, right?
Okay, so is this, so let me get your question right. Is this for a member who joins the challenge or for a member who has participants in the challenge?
Let's say they have participants in the challenge.
Okay, so what happens is, if for example it's 5 members, there's 50%, 42%, 35 and new members, everybody orders a shake, or if for example, and then each person has 5 participants, each person orders for their participants, and then they would send me the receipts, and then I make the payment, because one person takes care of the money. Not everybody now gets the money. The money gets kept in a kitty, and then once everybody orders their shake, they just send the invoices through. Doesn't matter what level the person is at. All right. We just changed that a bit. I was explaining to Beya how my sponsor does it. We just do it a bit differently. So everybody orders, and then we just pay the invoices, and then everybody gets the same point because they've got the same amount of clients.
Makes sense.
And then also what's awesome is that they will move up the marketing plan as time goes, and they will have to do the same for others.
Makes sense. Thanks, Gwen.
Maybe I can add to that question quickly, Hashim, sorry. Gwen and I, we had a conversation about that, and what was interesting for me is that also most of her members, and she herself actually, is participant at the same time in the weight loss challenge. So she can also measure the weight. The members participate actually, and they buy their own shake, but they also contribute that rest of the money towards the kitty for the prize giving. Am I there correct, Gwen?
Yes, Beya. And then also when it's
full participant actually, and this is what I like so much. I mean, it's one thing when you go there with your participants, but it's something different when you are in the challenge at the same time and you are also a challenger with all the others.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I love it.
To add to that, Beya, when it comes to the discount levels now for members, same thing. If, for example, somebody is a new member, they will pay 200 Rand. If somebody is at 35%, they will pay more, because that's the difference between the discount and the joining fee. So others will pay more than others because they've got, it's just the way it is, and then it's fair as well.
Absolutely.
I just want to say I'm really excited, Gwen, because I spoke to quite a few people in my team already, and they're really excited about the weight loss challenge. And I think this call tonight was just perfect. Yeah, I don't have any more questions. I just want to say thank you. It was everything I was looking for. And the thing okay.
No, Hashim, you wanted to say something? I interrupted you now, sorry.
I just wanted to say what I love about the weight loss challenge is it's just giving me another opportunity to be crazy, because it's all about celebrating, it's about community, it's about making people feel special, and that's our mission, and it just speaks to everything that we're doing. So yeah, I've never looked at it, but definitely going to give it not a go, definitely going to make it work. I'm excited. I'm ready and I'm excited.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's hear from the others if there are any other questions. I see Doris has just opened her microphone.
Yeah, I'm also, it's really stunning what you are doing, and I'm also excited, and I want to do it beginning of next year, I'm sure. But there was a website about a manual, and I didn't get the website. Where can I find the instructions and manuals for this challenge?
Okay, it's www.
Yeah.
.myweightloschallenge. .co.
Yeah.
.za.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a Herbalife website. So you'll have to register as a coach, and then you will be verified. And then I think it takes about 48 hours, and then you'll have access to all the coaches' manuals.
Okay.
And the same is available in Germany as well, Doris, because Doris is calling from Germany. So if you make the E at the end, you get the German version. And Doris is an English teacher. Before she translates everything, it is available. It's already translated. So you can save time.
co.de. Yeah, it's co.de. Yeah, okay. Good. Fine.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Hi, Gwen.
Hi.
Just wanted to find out, with members participating and paying the full participation fee, are they eligible to win the prizes as well at the end, be the biggest loser, or is that they are?
Yeah, they are eligible to win, but we haven't had a member winning now. And then, but what happens is, you know what happens, Lisa, to be honest, is that most of the time when people participate, by the end of the challenge, most of the challengers are members already. So
okay.
You might have started as a challenger, but you're also winning now as a member. At the end of the challenge, but yeah, normally members win, yeah.
Okay, one more question I've got for you. With regards to the weekly prizes, you said in week one you guys give protein bars. Would you be able to give us a breakdown of the weekly prizes you give for the rest of the weeks?
Okay, so normally a weight loss challenge is protein bar every week, but what we did now is that what we do, we put, a lot of people like Herbalife branded things. So, like, for example, I've got this Herbalife pen, I would put it in there. And then because a lot of them become coaches along the way, we put in buttons, we put in some exercise stretchers and everything. But what we do is we put it in a bag so they can't see what they're taking. And every week we probably add more stuff. So people don't know what's in the bag, and we keep it a surprise like that. And we thought it makes it more fun. We also get, the bags we get at the extravaganzas or anything like, or meal bar, whatever. We put it in there. And they just have to put their hand in, and then whatever comes out is their prize.
Okay, awesome. That's really cool.
You can be creative with your weekly prizes, but it mustn't cost you. Remember, everything with the weight loss challenge, the whole thing is community and fun, but it's not meant to cost you a lot.
Sure, and it needs to be duplicatable as well. So if you're spending a lot of money, then you need to make it simple for everyone. Cool. But thank you very much.
People even appreciate the protein bars every week, to be honest. They look forward to it. They're like, finally, I also get the bar.
Sweet. Awesome, thanks.
Thanks. But remember, guys, we also sample on the weekly lessons. When they're talking about healthy snacking, there's protein bars. So you sample that with the chance. So remember to buy protein bars to sample. And then also with the aloe, when they talk about digestive health, you sample the aloe on that. And also what's nice about the note is just it does say all the stuff that helps with digestive health, and then it always puts in the Herbalife product in there. Okay, and the advantage of a challenge, because it's a community, if somebody uses the aloe and somebody else is not using the aloe, they're gonna wanna find out why don't they know about the aloe and everybody else knows about the aloe. Because then they actually share the product with each other before you even talk much about them.
I've got one more question following out of that now. If you've got yourself and more than one coach running the challenge, who's responsible for buying, or who gets the volume for purchasing the products for sampling? How do you split that?
Actually, with the sampling, it depends. It's not normally I buy the sampling products.
Okay.
Normally I buy the sampling product because it's just bars, one aloe and one shake.
Sure.
And sometimes I donate. It depends on each week. It depends on each challenge. If, for example, the participants not a lot and the money is not that, like the prize money is not that much, then I will donate. Remember, because normally I'm the one taking a lot of responsibility for this one, because it's all our business partners.
Sure. Makes sense. Thank you.
Any more questions for that? Yeah, Hashim?
Gwen, you said you do weigh-ins every week. Do you do a full weigh-in every week? Was it just Tanita every week, and every halfway or second week you do the full entire centimeters and everything? Or do you do everything every week? Because I think maybe, I don't know,
Okay, so on week 1, we do the full measurements in centimeters. Now let's assume it's a 12-week challenge. Week 1, full measurements in centimeters, and then on a weekly basis, they just stand on the scale, we take the weight only. Then we'll do the full measurements again on week 6. Because remember, it takes time to do full measurements. On week 6, because the lesson is very short on week 6. And then on week 12, final measurements. And also for them, it's actually exciting when they see how far they've come on week 6 when it comes to full measurements. Okay, yes, another question.
Do I have to do 12 weeks or can I do 8 weeks?
Up to you, you can do 8 weeks. It's nice to do 8 weeks as well because you restart sooner. That means you're running about, let's say in a year, you're running about 6 challenges as opposed to 4. If you were doing it once a week. Remember, with the weight loss challenge, when momentum kicks in, you can run 2 challenges a week or 2 challenges a day, twice a week. So I mean, yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
I think that's the interesting part that you were talking earlier on, that it's not just one weight loss challenge, that you practically have 2 or 3 weight loss challenges a week, that you have one day where you have back-to-back weight loss challenges. So you prepare only once, you have only once the venue, but you run actually 2 or 3 weight loss challenges on the same day, which makes it very, very effective.
And also,
I can yeah. Say?
Also, times sometimes are suitable. Like some people, it suits them later than earlier. Like some people, it's at 7 instead of coming in at 5:30. So that's why I'm.
But when I understand you correctly, you have started with one weight loss challenge at one time, and it just evolved then into a back-to-back. You don't offer from the very beginning already 3 different times, because then it's difficult to fill all the slots. I think it's easier to start with one time at one date. Okay. Quickly a question, Gwen. You start, obviously, the people pay their 500 Rand, they get their shake and their goodie bag with it. What happens then? How do you upgrade the people? Because, I mean, you know now, do you recommend the people to take the shake twice a day, once a day? Do you give at all a recommendation there? And obviously, if they use now the shake twice a day and they have one small shake, it's the 21 serving shake, they need very quickly shake again. So how do you do the upgrade? What is the average usage from your people? Do they use only the shake, or how do they get into tea, aloe, and all the other products? What does an average weight loss challenge user in your weight loss challenge use?
Okay, so what happens is in the beginning they get the small shake, but remember with every week when they arrive at the challenge, they get a tea every week. They sample the tea, and because they feel good on the tea, they'll ask, where can I get more of this tea? The aim of the challenge, we don't tell clients, get this, get this, get this. You introduce a product every week. So you will say, for example, digestive health, the benefits of this, this is the, and then you say the aloe does this, and so you explain the benefits, and then you make them taste the aloe. They're like, oh, it's actually nice. And then they order the aloe. So they don't order, and then when they run out, because they see you on a weekly basis, most will say, my shake is running out, please come through. So we also tell them at the beginning of the challenge, when you run out of any, when you need another shake, just speak to your coach. If you need anything, speak to your coach. But because we're doing incredible follow-up, it happens automatically. When someone runs out, they say, I want this. An average weight loss challenger in our challenge, they actually buy 2 big shakes for their convenience. And then they buy the tablets, the fiber and herb tablets. Okay? And then they get the aloe for themselves. Or they will either get the multi-fiber drink on average. So then they know when they've got the 2 shakes, the multi-fiber, they've got a month's supply of that, because it helps them with that. So excuse me, but no one wants to run out of a shake because they're in a community where everybody's eating shakes. Mm-hmm. No one wants to run out of the tea. And on top of the tea, they buy the big tea. So they'll buy 2 big shakes, 1 big tea. Some of them are students, so they know that I cannot run without my shake. And then also we make it fun, like we'll do like a special concoction. We'll say, okay, what did you mix in your concoction? Whoever the biggest loser was. Remember, the nice thing about the recognize the biggest, you ask them, what are you using? I'm having shake twice a day. We tell them, because they want to lose weight, we tell them to have it twice a day. So I had my shake in the morning. What did you have for breakfast? Shake in the morning. This was my snack. This was my shake for lunch. And everybody wants to have what the biggest loser had. If the biggest loser had tea, then they want whatever the biggest loser had. And you're not saying to people, get this, get that, but then they are already getting from each other what needs to, And also what's nice about comeback weight loss challengers is that they taste so much stuff that by the time it's a challenge, they are the ones advising the new challengers what they need to get. So you actually end up not doing much. So that's it. They literally speak to each other. And they influence each other.
Fantastic. I think a major part also of your success and that you qualify in our First Cut Millionaire team and that you always have not just a high personal volume, also high organization volume is related to everything what you do is very simple and duplicatable, and that you have planted into your flow also the HRM and the BBS. May I ask you, how often do you plan for yourself to go to the HRM, that you have a flow there basically to take your participants with you, or the BBS? How often are you basically at the events?
The events, the thing is, we are the main organizers of the event, so we are there every week. We don't miss an HRM. And the nice thing about the venue where we do the challenge is the same venue for the HRM. So it's like when we're saying goodbye to people, we say, I'll see you tomorrow. And then the ones who probably don't know what's happening tomorrow will find out what's happening tomorrow. Why are they not there tomorrow? You see? And then same place. And then some will not come now, but will come at a later stage. Because remember, people are different. So you just have to be patient at the same time. But it's the same. We don't miss an HRM. We're at every HRM on a weekly basis.
Fantastic. Within your organization, how many of your people, because I think your newer members come to you, if I understand you correctly, and participate in your weight loss challenge. But how many of your members are doing their own weight loss challenge? They grew out of a weight loss challenge and they do their own thing.
Okay, so with the PE one, we've got a very big venue and it's central. So the guys, I'll tell you, the guys who we are working with, we're always working with the new guys. So with the new guys, everybody comes there and we all work together at once at one venue. And then, but the way we started the weight loss challenge, we started them in East London. And then people started their own ones in their own community. Like they broke off. So everybody started in their own areas. But in Port Elizabeth, we all work together at one venue at the moment.
Okay. One last point from my side, and then I'll hand over to whatever you have still to share with us. But what excited me actually is what you told me when it was about the lesson. Now, I have from the very past a little bit weight loss experience already, and this is why I like a lot to do it only 8 weeks, because you lose often the excitement from the people along the way, and 8 weeks is a very good timing. But what I liked a lot is basically when you told me that actually often you don't do the lesson, a participant is actually doing the lesson. And I was like in awe. I don't know if everybody understood that earlier on, that actually you don't do the lesson necessarily. So maybe you want to say a word to that quickly.
Yeah, so we love doing that because we are empowering them as well. So as I was saying earlier, that we do the welcoming, the registration day, and lesson 1, because lesson 1 is on protein, so that's very important. And also all the other lessons are important. But what we do now, we ask them every week, and you don't ask the same person. So this week I'll ask Liesl, can you please do next week's lesson? I'll send you the notes, like I was saying. And then that way the person becomes more confident, and after the lesson we compliment them and for them. And some guys, they would like even print out little motivations and put on the chairs. They literally go the extra mile than you, because they actually feel special to be asked to do the lesson, you know, because we're chosen. And you speak to the person privately, and Then after that, you compliment them, and that's how actually also it helps you convert them into a member, because you say you are really, really good at this, you know, and would you be interested in doing what to do? But please come and check out what we do tomorrow to give you a bigger picture. And a lot of people leave excited and they become members. And the weight loss challenges at the end of the channel, I was saying to Bear, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we've got bigger numbers, sometimes we've got smaller numbers, but people at the end of the challenge, they end up being members. Like it's like 90% of our challengers, and often 100% of the challengers, by the end of the challenge, they are members already. And they are buying their own products. And that's the nice thing, you know.
But when I understand you correctly, you take them all through the process, first to the event, and then they become a member.
Yes, they come to an HOM and then they become a member. They get to see the bigger picture.
Perfect. Yeah, Gwen, I think you must add what you wanted to add, what you have in your notes. I don't want to interrupt you all the time now with more questions. Or Liesl, you put your hand up at the moment. Another question?
Yeah, sorry. I have a question with regards to the lessons. If you're doing an 8-week challenge, the normal weight loss challenge has 12 lessons. So are there some of the lessons that you guys end up not doing, or do you condense some of those lessons and put them together?
We would incorporate, like if, for example, maybe a short lesson with a long lesson or something like that. And remember, some of the things on the challenge are a quiz. So you can put them together so that you don't miss out on the information.
And then a question with regards to the final week when you announce the winner. Do you just do it at the same venue, or is there like a celebration and people have eat, or how do you actually do the final prize giving?
We do it at the same venue because week 12 is just focused on the recognition. So there's not really a lesson on week 12. It affects people that they just need to stay on track, and then you do the final measurements, and then you recognize the biggest loser. And also you take the photos now. So we do the same thing, take the photos, but they need to be someone who's very savvy, because you need to have the starting photos ready, and then you put them together in a collage. And then you also show them, that's the exciting part, you show them the difference. They will see, they all look at each other's photos, and they actually get excited. We normally do that in a laptop. Then they get a shock of their lives. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And the nice thing also, then you give them those photos to put as their Facebook profile picture for themselves, to get themselves clients for the next challenge when you're launching it. So you're really empowering them there as well.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gwen.
Yes,
So every week you get somebody that's being recognized for who lost the most. Am I right?
Yes.
So is it okay to use that person? Let's say we use that recognition also on Facebook to say, on social media, say, this week Gwen lost the most so far this week. We set up the momentum for your next weight loss challenge. Can we do that?
What I found is that it's nice to recognize, because I do that. I recognize people on their awards when they're the biggest losers, because I know they're in members in training, so you're attracting their circle of influence for them. And in the beginning, when no one knows they're on the journey, they get a lot of support from their peers and everything, and they keep posting, and then that's how they now start getting. But the nice thing about that is, if someone is not a member yet, they will ask you, they're like, there's these people who are interested, but some of them are fun, and then you can tell them about the opportunity, invite them basically to an HOM so they can see what it's about. And remember, with an HOM, guys, you can start your own HOM. You don't have to, if there's no HOM in now, we've started a lot of HOMs, so you just start an HOM.
Fantastic. Super. Gwen, back to your notes. Is there anything what we should know when we get started?
I'm thinking, I think I covered all I can think of there, but just maybe take at least, if you're starting a weight loss challenge in January, you want to put it out there now. That would be my tip. So you don't wait for January, but you put it out there now that you're starting.
Gwen, so when you say we're putting it out there now, do you think I should post every day about it, or twice a week, or thrice a week, or normally I kill stuff, I overdo it. So what is the ideal way to advertise it? Every day, because I would do it 4 times a day, every day until January.
Yeah. You know what we did? Like for us, we just created I created a separate page for myself, because sometimes we tend to do a lot of things. Let's say I'm doing wellness assessments, or you're doing breakfast challenge. So when you don't want to confuse the market, then you can create a page for your weight loss challenge, so that you can put and then you can add all your friends still on that page, or your circle of influence. But then now, and put it out there through that page, so that it's a weight loss challenge page. Where do you stay in Cape Town?
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, so let's say, for example, you're staying in Belleville, and then you can be weight loss challenge Belleville.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but if, for example, like for me, because we do a lot of that, then I normally recognize people on my wall. And I also put it on my wall, but you can put it on your wall. That's what I'm saying. You can, if you've got a weight loss challenge, you can put it on your wall, and you can do a build up to it. I don't know how, because remember, most now we're also trying, like we're doing the breakfast challenges and everything, but now it's something new for me. Like literally, I'm 2 weeks in, but something new for me. So now, I do weight loss challenge, so most of my circle of influence know me as that I'm doing Mkaba. We don't call it weight loss challenge, we call it Mkaba must fall. Mkaba means a big stomach, so it means a big stomach must fall. So we do Mkaba must fall challenges, and that's how we do it. But I think the best way to do it, it would be probably through a page, so that at least the guys, because you can advertise through a page, remember? You can do target advertising for your area, because obviously you want people to be coming into your place. That's what I like. So that's what we did. Even if you were to go, even my sponsor, you will find, maybe go on Facebook, go search weight loss challenge Port Elizabeth, and you can literally go through the walls. In fact, you can even go weight loss challenge East London, whatever, but you can go through the walls and see what people post on the wall. And everybody who does a weight loss challenge or weight loss challenge, Port Alfred, the guys in Port Alfred, sorry, Bea, she asked who else is doing weight loss challenge. There's guys doing it in Port Alfred and Grahamstown. So those guys have weight loss challenge Grahamstown, weight loss challenge Port Alfred, which is about 100 kilometers from here. And then they specifically promote the weight loss challenge on the page. Everybody who does a weight loss challenge promotes it on a page, because you can promote it, you can do targeted advertising and all of that. But if you don't need to do advertising, guys, you can speak to, it's always better to speak to yourself. If you're staying in a community, you can go door to door, you can do flyers, you can put a poster at Spa, you can send your WhatsApp group, your friends and everything, to invite people to a challenge. And then you get the night. And also, remember, with the weight loss challenge, we're doing weight loss challenge, but we're doing a lot of wellness evaluations in between. So it allows you to do everything else. Your personal page allows you to do everything else that you want to do. But then your weight loss challenge page is specifically focused on the weight loss challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically you would say, put a date down where you really commit. This is my date where I start the weight loss challenge. Date, time, venue must be clear.
Yeah.
And you go one.
I'll tell you one thing. When we started the weight loss challenge, we did not have a venue. We said new weight loss challenge. We said just announce the weight loss challenge starting. You have the most important thing, decide on the date. New weight loss challenge starting, let's say in Summerstrand on the 8th of January. Inbox for details. And then on the venue that we said to be confirmed, TBC most. And then we went to everybody who confirmed that they'll be attending to say, hey, the venue for the challenge is this. Because we knew that it's important to get started. And the thing is, when you're getting there, you will find it.
Fantastic.
You need to decide what to do, and then get the venue in the process while you're doing it.
Super. Super, super, super. I think everybody got the picture. I just leave it up to you, Gwen, and to the others if there's any more open question. I think everybody's excited. And what excites me so much is, first of all, that you took time tonight, Gwen. Because I know it's a very busy time, and having 2 children, they are actually demanding you. And I can tell you now, Gwen said, can we make the call at 9 o'clock? And I was like, Gwen, please, could we make it at 8 o'clock? We are so used to 8 o'clock. We are not as busy as you, still working and having calls after 9 o'clock. So thank you very much for that, and that your children, they are still awake, that you really took time off there. It's a perfect timing, I must say, really thinking now about doing the weight loss challenge starting in the beginning of January. And you gave us the right tips to just get started. And what I like is actually the last tip, what you gave just now, you started even without having a venue. Sometimes it's better to get started imperfect instead of waiting till everything is perfect, because the perfect comes never. How long do you run already weight loss challenges?
Whew. How many years? Maybe 3 years now.
3 years. So basically your knowledge and everything what sounds at the moment so cool is built on 3 years, developing, making mistakes, make it 12 weeks, then 8 weeks, and developing. And I think this is what everybody must understand. Every success is built on a 90-day plan. And part of the 90-day plan is 8-week weight loss challenge and another 8 weeks and another 8 weeks, and building on that. And your success is basically built on never giving up on the weight loss challenge, just improving and learning out of the weight loss challenges and make it better because you just loved it. Absolutely stunning. Gwen, over to you. You have the last word.
You know, the people who come to the challenge, give them 100% value, because those people will give you incredible referrals. And we even say when people come in, if, for example, they get into a challenge and there's 10 people, we say, guys, we still have space. So, and they just invite your friends. I said this to Bear as well. Invite your friends to come and check it out, even if they're not joining, but just come and check it out. What we do, they're invited, and then they come, and then most of them decide to join the challenge after that. So you ask from referrals from your new clients as well. Full space to invite. Yes. If there's 10 people for the entire 8 weeks and 8 of them become members, then it's all worth it. And then the nice thing is that when you start a new challenge, you've got a new group of people who are going to bring their own circle of influence, and you're going to work with them and empower them.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So I just say thank you. I think everybody is at the moment overwhelmed, and already I can see the clouds already of thinking and ideas and excitement. So thank you very much for that, Gwen. I think everybody should open the microphone and say a big thank you to Gwen for taking your time. Let's give her, as it should be, a big applause. Thank you very much, Gwen. You're absolutely star. Latest, we see you at the LDW, and then you will hear from us the first successes with the weight loss challenges and what the one or the other did out of it. And Doris, you will see, and Lillian, who dialed in from Germany, and Jonathan from Amsterdam. You will meet then at the Extravaganza in Paris, okay?
Awesome. I can't wait. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Gwen. And have a wonderful festive season and enjoy the holiday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Gwen. You were incredible. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, Bea. So now, good. Thank you. Let me see how.
I see even Beatrice from Rwanda. She lives now in Milnerton. Hey, Bea. My other Bea.
I'm so excited.
You were great, huh? Was exciting, huh? Did you learn something tonight?
I'm so excited, but I almost